Hi there, folks. It's Jonathan Denwood here from WP-Tonic. And in this video, I'm going to be discussing what are some of the best course platforms out there to build your courses on and your membership website on. There's a lot of choice out there, but there's some real clear leaders as well. Got a ton of experience in this area. I'll be back in a few moments, folks. Coming back, folks. So, like I said, I'm looking at the best course platforms there to help you build out your membership or your educational courses on. And like I say, there's a lot of choice out there, but there's some clear leaders. Now, before I go into the specific platforms, I think there's definitely two kind of buckets there. Well, actually, there's kind of three because there are some hybrid platforms out there as well. But fundamentally, there's two buckets, as I would describe it. There's SaaS, software as a service, a specific program with a number of functions that the developers have built into their SaaS. And then there's WordPress. WordPress functions are normally provided by plugins, and WordPress is a general platform, and you can build it to do various things by a small library of plugins. And WordPress drives about 43 to 45% of all websites on the internet. They're the two main buckets. There's sub bucket if you want a kind of more community focused website. That I would say that's the kind of third bucket out there. So let's look at some main platforms. Now, I think a really good choice for a certain type of user is Kajabi. Kajabi is a well-established platform. It is quite expensive. They do have a plan called Kickstarter that starts at around $89 month to month. But really, you should really look at the basic plan, which is just slightly, I think it's $149 month to month. You do get a very full featured platform. It has everything that a course creator would be looking for. It is definitely not the most easiest platform to use, dependent on your experience. They do provide a really good job when it comes to educational materials, documentation, training videos. I cannot fault them for that. It does also have some community building elements, and it does have an app that runs on Android and iPhone, iOS. It's not white labeled though. So if you're looking for a real feature rich, but not, and you're prepared to put the time and effort into it, it's probably one of the better fully functioning SaaSes out there. Now, another good choice out there is Podia. Podia starts at around $39 month to month. The only thing is they do have a surcharge on your transaction fees. What do I mean by transaction fee? Well, if you're selling membership to end users, you're going to have to use an online payment provider, something like Stripe or PayPal. Well, if you get the base level of Podio, Stripe normally charges around 2.9%. They will charge additional 5% on top. So you've got to keep that in mind. The next plan up, which is the same price as Kajabi's Kickstarter plan, $89, they don't charge this 5% on top of your normal Stripe charge. So maybe the top level of Podio. What do I like about Podio? Well, it's actually got a better website builder, I think, than Kajabi in some ways. It is not as featured rich as Kajabi when it comes to landing page marketing automation. It doesn't have everything that Kajabi offers, but that means it's a lot more simpler to utilize. One of the drawbacks of Podio is with the email sending, they've actually got a third party platform which you have to purchase. You can still utilize third party integrations with MailChimp and a number of other email platforms, but their own one, you got to pay an extra $20 a month to get their own solution. I don't quite like that. But if you're looking for a more simpler system to get up and running and you don't want to look at WordPress, I think Podio is a good solution. If you're finding this helpful, this video so far, think about giving me a thumbs up and think about subscribing to the channel, because that really shows YouTube that I'm doing something right, and I really would appreciate it. So let's now look at some of the WordPress solutions out there. Well, the leader in my mind is Lifter LMS. Lifter is fully functioning. The great thing with it, it comes with a really feature-rich free program level that with the purchase of a Stripe add-on, which is $149 per year, you're off and running. You do need hosting. You got to have WordPress on a hosting provider. That will cost you to get a decent hosting provider, that will cost you between $30 to $60 a month, depending what you require, how big you think your course is to start off with. But, that should cover a reasonable amount of students. I can't give you precise figures because each setup, it depends on how interactive they are on the website. There's various factors, so I can't give you this number of students should be fine on this price level of hosting. It doesn't work that way, but I can give you some rough ideas, and like I say, between $30 and $60 you should get something that's suitable. Um, I love we love Lifter LMS at WP-Tonic. We offer it. We offer their full package, which is 1,500 per year. We offer that as part of our hosting package for free, but we love it. Now, another good choice when it comes, another good choice, but it's in this subcategory of you're trying to build a membership that has more community focus elements to it, like what Facebook does with their group functionality. You also want to combine it with elements of a forum. Another great WordPress solution that offers all this is Fluent Community. It's been on the market now for over 18 months and it's matured now, and it really is a great solution. It really, really, if you're looking to build a community, it's got the power, but it's simple to set up and get running, and it's powerful. And with decent hosting, you're going to have no problems at all. Now, on the SaaS side of it, you got Mighty Networks. Now, Mighty Networks is also very feature rich, very feature rich. I don't think it's got the greatest interface, and like Kajabi, dependent on your experience, it can be quite complicated to set up, but it really is dependent on your experience. If you've got a bit of experience setting up websites and setting up communities, you're not going to find it too hard. It is more complicated than Kajabi, though, in my opinion. Another good SaaS solution is Circle. Now, Circle is also a little bit of a hybrid. It's a SaaS, but it's really designed to run on a subdomain. And you could be running a WordPress website, and you could be running your circle, like I say, on a subdomain. Another WordPress solution in this is BuddyBoss. Now, BuddyBoss is, I compare it to Mighty Networks. If you're looking for everything, and you want to stay on WordPress, you're going to be delighted with BuddyBoss. But it's complicated to set up. There's a lot of things, small things you got to understand about BuddyBoss. You've got to do your research. We love BuddyBoss. We love Fluent Community. We offer both of those at WP-Tonic. But like I say, BuddyBoss, like Mighty Networks, is a bit complicated. Now, I could go on a bit more, but I've actually written an article. You find the link in the video description that gives you even more options. I've, I just want to keep this video around 8-10 minutes, and give you some of the main players, but there's a lot more choices out there. Like I say, if you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And you can also book a 30-minute consultation. You find that link also, but it's also right on the home page if you want some one-to-one consultation with me about the right solution for you. I'll see you soon, folks. Bye.